Can you tell me the difference between macro and micro? I know on Reddit there's been the threads recently about aim and macro players or something, like good aim, good macro, and they're kind of misunderstanding the word macro. In my opinion, like a player, it's a weird use of the word to say a player has good macro in a weird way, but I know what they mean. Macro is everything to do with the idea that we're playing, like what setups are we running, how are we rotating across the map, everything broadly strategic is the macro. Like we're using the Viper wall here so that we can 1-3-1, and then our macro is a 1-3-1, and then if we get pressure here, we're gonna lurk on extremities. And we lost this game because every time we tried to lurk this extremity, there were still two people here. Like this is all macro stuff I'm talking about. Micro is Chronicle has a lineup for this orb that lands here, so that it cuts off this corner here instead of the lineup here that doesn't. Like that's micro. It's like all the micro stuff, like all the details. Micro is also like the way you are aiming and your movement. Is there a better way for me to explain micro? Like, I think that's a relatively good attempt. Micro is your lineups, your aim, more individual related stuff. Micro is everything in ranked pretty much. Macro is like pro play, team environment stuff. Like I'd argue that in ranked, macro has no basis in ranked, whereas micro is very important. And in pro play, they're both very important. Micro can also be combos, like util combos. Like, oh, we're gonna suck nade here specifically, like it's a nice micro. Macro would be the implication of that micro. So like let's say that we wanted one round to play, what's a good example, maybe Haven. Like we wanted to trap sewers on Haven. We're going to play like a trap. So the micro of this trap is that we have the cam looking down here, and then off of the cam contact we stun, and then the round doesn't work because we stunned here and we should have stunned here. So like the micro was off, but we might be like, oh, the macro was right because we played this setup to beat the sewers control that they were running, you know? So hopefully I've said enough that you kind of get the idea.